another invitation once again.
Yeah, we are delighted once more to be on this platform. It's always been a pleasure each time Canal Day comes knocking, especially when it concerns burning issues in our fatherland. Of course, this is part of our patriotism, that each time we are called up to talk about the state, we take the courage to come and talk. Contrary to those who think that if the regime for 43 years have stifled people's way of thinking, everybody needs to sink and in fear, bury there. We'll always talk and we'll take the responsibility for what we say.
Thank you so much. Let's move over to my left, where I have Mr. Silvanus Asanga. He's delegate in charge of elections and internal tradition at the CRM Littoral 1. Your very first time on my set, sir. You are welcome.
Thank you very much. It's my singular pleasure to be here today, because I think that it is our civil right maybe to explain and to share with others with different points and different ideologies, so that we can from there build a good country. I will also want to thank those who have tuned to Canada. Yeah. And I wish that they should listen and listen keenly, because this is a program that is rich, and everybody can also everybody can also maybe put up a strategy or listen and gain something from us. I will not forget to also greet my co-panelists, that we are here for to share knowledge and to share our ideologies, and let us respect ourselves and respect the televiewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I have Mr. Awar Mikapa. He's a journalist here in Douala, and he doubles as the general manager of Radio Bonaberi Radio, if I should put it that way. Michael, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Hyacinth, and my co-panelists. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be back in the studio this day to talk about burning issues in the life of our beautiful country. And of course, it's important to underscore that change is a result of identifying problems, talking about these problems, and taking action to resolve these problems. And we're here because we think that we have identified a few of these things that are very pertinent, crucial in the life of Cameroon, given that this year is an election year. Cameroonians are very expectant. And we're looking forward to exchanging on this platform to educate, of course, inform our audience on what is pertinent and also their role in the political life of Cameroon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go and take this element that will serve as the pace setter for our discussions. And then we'll come back. We welcome Mr. Kum Jerum before we dive into the discussions proper.
In a letter addressed to the Cameroonian people, Issa Tchiroma Bakari outlines his vision for the country's future, emphasizing the need for change and promising to restore power to the people. In the 24-page letter, Issa Tchiroma pledged to refocus the country's governance, ensuring that power is held by the people, not a selected few. He vowed to address the country's pressing issues, including insecurity, corruption, and economic stagnation. The candidate emphasized the importance of unity, calling on Cameroonians to put aside their differences and work towards a common goal. Issa Tchiroma also highlighted his commitment to social justice, promising to improve the lives of the most vulnerable members of society. He did not end there. He went ahead by making major proposals, establishing a new national dialogue to bring together different stakeholders and foster a sense of unity and purpose. He reiterates implementing reforms to ensure free and fair elections and promoting transparency and accountability in governance, developing a comprehensive plan to address the country's security challenges, including the Boko Haram insurgency Anglo-Anglophone crisis. He emphasized on education. He promised investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure to drive economic growth and improve living standards. In all, the 24-page letter, Issa Tchiroma is calling for action, as his letter concluded with passionate appeal to the Cameroonian people, urging them to join him in his quest for change. As he emphasized that the time for waiting is over and that collective action is needed to build a brighter future for the country.
Thank you, Morinzi, for that report. As we come back here to welcome Mr. Kum Jerum, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to answer present on your platform to talk about key issues that are affecting our nation, Cameroon, and especially the recent political, changes and issues. This is an election year, and the public is eager to listen to some of our viewpoints that will, in one way or the other, shape the minds of the common man. I equally say a big salute to my co-panelists and the televiewers and faithfuls of the Canal TV.
Thank you so much. I give you some time to catch your breath. Let me go straight to Mr. Asanga. How did you perceive the resignation of Minister Issa Tchiroma Bakari?
Thank you very much. It's a pertinent question, and that is why one of the points we are here. Yeah. And as I earlier said, we are here to share our ideas and look for a way forward. Issa Tchiroma, as you all know, has been a minister under this regime. Oh. And for more than 30 years, I think that it is like a bond, and the bond is over. You know, when you come in for a regime and have an alliance with that regime, there should be maybe a kind of focus for that, maybe that regime to work for the benefit of the country, not for the benefit of few individuals as they were doing. He has actually saved President Paul Biya and the regime for a very long time. And I think that he has realized that the regime has yielded no fruit, and it is time for him to go. And as he's living also with his own alliance. And I want to say that his bouncing out of the regime is actually showing that the regime has not yielded any fruit. Okay. And for that, he needs maybe to go out and maybe look for something. But his going out is not even positive. It is negative, because divided we fall. And as far as he's going out, he's falling, and the regime also is falling. Okay. There's no possibility there.
Okay. Were you surprised when the news came to Cameroonians that he's not, like they say, I'm not doing again?
You're right. Yeah, thank you. I wasn't surprised. Okay. Because it signals the end of an era in politics. We are all observant, and we are watching what is going on so far as politics is concerned in Cameroon. And we are expecting more of such actions in the months ahead. So I'm not surprised. This is somebody that came into alliance with the ruling CPDM or government. And just like marriage, if it's not going, you divorce. We have people getting married every day and getting divorced every day. So there is nothing new about that. Okay. It signals the end of an era. Okay. And we are looking forward to see more of such actions in the months ahead. Somebody may not like to hear this, but again, Cameroon is changing. Okay. And Cameroonians are expectant to see the change that is unfolding. Beginning first with a system that has been in power for a very long time. I know Keja is looking at me. A system that has been in power for some time. There's an end to everything, you understand? Yeah. There is going to be an end to the President Biya's regime. A new regime is going to come forth. And that is Issa Tchiroma. Why? Because if if we are in a democracy, then people should be able to go in and go out when they want.
Come or leave. Okay.
If it's not going, you stop.
Yeah.
You only continue when you feel that the boat is headed your direction. The moment you feel that it's no longer serving your interest or going towards your destination, you job. And people should be free to job when they are no longer comfortable.
Okay. Jerome Emmanuel, when you look through the 24-page document Issa Tchiroma issued, he's highlighting some of the failures of the regime for 43 years. And we ask question, why now when you have been there for over 30 years?
Thank you very much. There is this Igbo proverb that says, you don't sell people to the buyer, expect the buyer to trust you.
Okay.
One, I want to say that on a personal note, I appreciate him for going down to history as the first minister who ever resigned.
He's not the first though.
He's the fourth. He should be the fourth, right?
He's
okay.
The fourth? Yeah.
He should go down to history as one of those who have ever resigned.
Yeah.
Good. Because we know in Cameroon,
ministers don't
the
resign.
Ministers, people don't resign.
Resignation seems like a taboo.
So, what I'm saying is that what caught my attention in the 24-page document, though I didn't go through it completely, was when he suggested he will present a referendum for Anglophones to decide their fate. And you will bear with me, his resignation might have been a very good one, but him getting into politics will spoil everything that he has ever worked for. Because there is no Cameroonian who will trust Issa Tchiroma Bakari to become a president. Let's be sincere. All the problems he enumerated in that paper existed before he joined an alliance with a regime that has buried the future of Cameroonians. With a regime that has vowed that Cameroonians will never know good life. He went in, the problems were persisting. He contributed by defending the head of state in every wrong step that head of state ever took. He defended as the communication minister. You know, he is noted for this famous statement. How can you say this? When he said, and he's the first person I ever got from his lips called Anglophones terrorist. Now, in the midst of all of this, this is a man who stood firm behind President Biya like Peter did to Christ. And before the cock crew the third time, he denied Christ. I am seeing a scenario where if his resignation is coming from the heart, it means that in the days ahead, others will follow.
Okay.
And I'm reading a situation where President Biya will be left to carry his cross, maybe alone, which is very dangerous. And those are the kind of people you don't make alliance with. Now, if he's coming to give us very lofty ideas, presenting very lofty projects to Cameroon, I have 3 questions to ask before you take the microphone.
Okay.
Where was Issa Tchiroma Bakari when children in his own village were studying under trees at schools? Which school has been...
I even took pictures.
Which school has been built in his community and named Tchiroma's Primary School or Tchiroma's Secondary Higher School? None, to the best of my knowledge. 2, when Tchiroma says today the Anglophone crisis will be handled through a dialogue and through a referendum, when you were calling us terrorists and you were saying military has never shot anybody and that we will be there with, and you even went further to say we are a minority. This was on Cameroon calling, and I can't ascertain what I'm saying. What were you thinking? How will you face them today? 3rd, if you are given the post or the chance to become president today, will you be president for the Northerners, or will you be president for the Anglophones also, who are terrorists and who are not part of this country? So when I look at this, all of this put together, I will advise that the former Minister of Communication should stay mute. If he's out of politics, he should enjoy his village natal and then stay out of politics, because there is nothing, that all these things is camouflage. And that camouflage will not win the sympathy of Cameroonians.
We want to kill his presidential aspirant. Jerome, How laudable is this resignation from a government you've been there for over 30 years?
Looking at the decision of Issa Tchiroma Bakari, one will look at it from a double coin. One, if you see him resigning after being in there for a long period of time, there should be internal squabbles within the CPDM or within the biased government that they disagree on certain things that maybe some people must have felt that they have cheated Cameroonians for a long time. They have denied them the truth, and now they think that it is a time to give back what belonged to the people, and maybe there is opposition somewhere. So as a result of this, somebody like Issa Tchiroma Bakari who joined the bias regime in an alliance to accompany him build a better Cameroon. Now he takes the step behind that I cannot do it again. But the question every Cameroonian is asking is this. Tchiroma has been Minister of Transport, I think, since 24. He has been Minister of Transport. The highest number of deaths that have been recorded in this country has been through road accident. No amelioration. Tchiroma left from Minister of Transport, Communication, where a lot of lies, and he defended the regime where they fell woefully, especially when it came to the Anglophone conflict.
As a government, government spokesperson,
as a government spokesperson, as the woman earlier said, he said there is no Anglophone problem. Secondly, the military never shot. And looking at all of this, we will say Tchiroma is just better placed to remain as a state person, not a politician. Because in politics, he has failed woefully. And nobody can trust somebody who has betrayed the trust that was given to him for over 20 years.
Maybe politics is about interest, and when your interest is threatened, you have to quit. Kezia, you in the CPDM, did you see this coming?
I had already written it in one of the group on the 29th of May, saying that somebody from a minister will resign. But that's not even the main issue. We are in politics. Alliances are being made and they are being broken. As he's going, many others will definitely come in. Remember the Jivan and the others that always come into the system. So many will always come in as others are going. I will not come here to really talk about the personality of Mr. Issa Tchiroma. The head of state trusted him and gave him an opportunity to serve the nation, which he said he loves. But we've seen him under a tree, where he says that there are no school students are studying under the tree. But the truth is, his party, the mayor in that area, in that municipality, is a mayor of his party. The parliamentarian from where that tree was, where he was sitting, is a parliamentarian from his party. And we also see him under that tree.
Does that stop the government from constructing schools?
The question I ask is, what's the use of the municipality? They have a lot to do too to assist if he thinks today that said government has failed. We have someone that the head of state, the president of the republic, trusted him so much and gave him the position of Minister of Employment, where jobs will be created for the Cameroonian youth. He says today that they are unemployed, and so he wants to become president to give them job. I asked myself, as Minister of Employment, you could not give them job, or what was happening? But I will not want to analyze his person. He has served his nation, and he still wants to serve his nation in the capacity in which he has chosen. And we are in democracy, and he has the right to that. And what is very important for us is that we continue
with our preparation for the upcoming election. Issa Tchiroma comes from the north, and there in the northern region, of course, that's where we have the most our most powerful ally of the UNDP, Bello Buba Maigari, that has stand out with a number of parliamentarians and councils more than Issa Tchiroma, and all of them are from the north. So that is how they calculate politics, because the CPDM, we all know, has always been winning in the extreme north. And where in the north, where the CPDM at times had problem, because that's where the former president comes up, and the rest, which we all know. So if he is in the north region, and of course he has decided to move out, Cameroonians should know that in the north region we have representatives, the elected representative. In that very north, we have all many sections and subsections in which we are preparing for our election, and our alliance still remain with the Minister of Bello Buba Maigari, which we are still collaborating to ensure that everything goes on well. Okay. When you look at the number of council Mr. Issa Tchiroma has, and with the number of parliamentarians, I think 3, we can analyze to know his political weight. And when you look at that of Mr. Bello Buba, of course, it's more than his. And when you look at that of the CPDM in that very region, it's still more than his.
Are you kind of undermining?
So we are saying that.
Are you kind of undermining what you have been offering in the alliance?
I am looking at political weight. The weight of a champion is the number of trophies you have.
Okay.
I have not said that his leaving would definitely not have an impact. Okay, we are an alliance, but we are looking at the weight of that impact, that in that north region, we have weight more than that party, and our closest ally, the UNDP, who is there, has more weight also than that of Issa Tchiroma, so it's almost a no loss. That's my analysis.
Okay, I will be coming to you. Let me get to our first. These people here seem not to be very comfortable with the candidacy of Issa Tchiroma. Is that the same way you see it?
Well, I have no business against Mr. Issa Tchiroma Bakari. But being objective, of course, if we have to look at his track record, his report card, a lot of Cameroonians, especially from the English extraction, are not very comfortable with some of his outings in recent past, and of course in the light of the Anglophone crisis. He seemed to have done so much damage that even his presidency will not be able to undo. I have nothing. We're in a democracy, and I want to assume that we're in a democracy. Why should I be against his candidature? Every Cameroonian constitutionally has the right to be able to declare their candidacy, and if they are qualified as per ELECAM, they should contest for the presidency, for that office. He is acting within his rights, just like the head of state used to say. I'm not a spokesperson for the head of state, but he said that for as long as it does not infringe with the law of the land, there is nothing against that. You are free to exercise your political freedom and your rights as a Cameroonian. So, but again, you cannot be aiming for gold and then you're shooting yourself in the foot, just like Issa Tchiroma has done. We're just being constructive, we're just being objective. Nobody's against his decision to contest for president in Cameroon, but do Cameroonians trust him enough to be able to vote him as president? I don't think so.
Okay, let's take this message. We have many of them. Let's just take this one. Greetings to you all over there. I just want to let Cameroonians know that in politics, there is no permanent friend, no permanent enemies. We have but permanent interests. So the minister's resignation shouldn't be a surprise. But I am convinced that it is just Mr. Bia's political strategy to have another mandate. So Cameroonians should be very vigilant. That is coming from Mr. Emmanuel Atem from Emana in Yaoundé. Yes, we are talking about Issa Tchiroma's candidacy. You of the opposition, what reading do you have, or do you make of his candidature?
I think that his candidature, as my co-panel said, is just but normal. And I want to think that we have other procedures for coming in as a presidential candidate. If you are in a party, you cannot just stand up and say, I want to be a presidential candidate. At least you need to maybe get into your party.
There are parties that the president of the party single-handedly decide who is candidate and who is not.
You need to get into the text. So if Issa Tchiroma's text of the party shows that he can single-handedly stand up and say, I'm the president, and the others are following. Okay. But I think that is not the right way. Because when you already have a party, that party does not actually belong to you. It is not a family issue that you just stand up and say, you go here, I'm standing here. No, that is not politics.
Okay.
That is what we call maybe anarchy, or what we call dictatorship. And I think that Issa Tchiroma is just practicing dictatorship. For him to say that he wants to be a candidate,
his party militants
his party is...
the text of your party says so. When you are a chairman, automatically you're a candidate.
Yes.
Like your own party and most of the party.
No, my own
Like
party.
your own party as well.
my party, I want to tell you, my party is CRM. It is not a natural candidate like you. In my party, we go through please, can you allow me now to talk?
Let him land, he's talking.
The microphone.
Yes,
right?
go
I
on.
want to say
Right on, please.
And to dismiss that allegation that just like my party.
I am of CRM,
yes.
And we need to go through a convention before we get a candidate for the presidential election, and that is what we did.
And what he's saying is that when you go through a convention, you elect the president of the party, which automatically becomes the presidential candidate.
Okay, if that is what they have done, I don't have any. if that is what they have done, because his resignation came just his announcement came just one day from his resignation, meaning that even though he was working with President Paul Biya, even though he was working with the regime, he had other things that he had a hidden agenda behind to maybe resign and go in for the presidential, to go in as a presidential candidate. But here, I don't want to even talk about Issa Tchiroma, because Issa Tchiroma, for me, he is a non-event. He can be an event for others. Yes, it can be. Listen. See, I'm saying, for me, it's a non-event. He is a force, but when a force is negligible, for me, I don't think that it is something, because Issa Tchiroma is counting. Let me land.
Yes.
We are talking about Issa Tchiroma's maybe candidature. Me of CRM, I'm saying that his candidature is welcome as any other one. Okay. But as far as CRM, or as far as I'm concerned, his candidature for me is not event. It's not event.
Okay, so
have you understood now?
Yes, Mr. Njihom Emmanuel, we are talking about this divorce between Biya and Tchiroma.
Right.
What impact can it have on the CPDM or Biya's candidacy in the upcoming election?
No, sincerely speaking, like my brother Kedia said, I only want to insist that he said it has a very insignificant impact. But I want to say that it will have, if truly it is not a ploy played by the CPDM.
So you are not still convinced that Issa Tchiroma has
like when I took microphone the first time, I told you that I am still to come to terms whether it is genuine. Because I know CPDM is like a cult. Yeah? They have their way of operating. Even spiritually, you don't see, but you feel it. So I am saying it could be a ploy used by the CPDM to distract the whole northern part that they have always claimed that they are winning there. So that at the end, you see, look at the parkour of Issa Tchiroma. He is capable of doing this and coming back. Remember, he played a vital role in the abortive coup d'etat 1984. April 1984. For those who are not aware, they should be aware. Go and read it. Find out the role he played before running to Nigeria and later on ending in jail. And he reconciled on that platform, agreeing with Biya to join his government, and was freed. Once a traitor, always a traitor. He came back after struggling to unseat Biya, joined Biya. If you cannot beat them, assisted in damaging the nation, especially in the portion of lies. That man has told lies that I don't think even in the next century somebody will say so lies in the nation. Now, looking at what is happening, I also had another reading of it. At one point, I looked at him to be like, the Northerners have been sidelined in the central government. Can you imagine? I'm just asking this question to myself. Are you sure if Issa Tchiroma was made Minister of Defense, he would have resigned? He was already in a position where even national visibility was off his head. The light of visibility was completely switched off. If he was in Minister of Finance, he would not have resigned. I'm telling you.
Okay.
If he was the Minister of Territorial Administration, he would not have resigned. How many times? It is only this noise that he brought up this week, and I heard his name again for a very long time. Maybe for 1 year, I even forgotten that somebody existed.
Okay.
That somebody existed like Issa Tchiroma Bakari. So, in absence of his national and maybe international visibility, he saw that his usefulness was already outlived, and of course, he had to quit because he discovered the importance they used to accord to him was no longer there. Please, 1 minute. When my brother Kedia said he was employment minister and he didn't do this, which minister in Cameroon has been doing what? All of them have not been doing anything. They have been doing the wrong things. So you can't. They have been doing the wrong things. So you will not expect a minister who is just a touche to give jobs where you are God in it to this, the one giving jobs. So he
but you give them the task and they have the right to execute.
No.
That's the responsibility to execute.
That's on paper. Remember, Cameroon is managed under high instructions, and those high instructions have to come from instructions. Those high instructions have to come from
we've heard the president give the high instructions that these thousands of youths should be employed.
Anyway, it's okay. We are also waiting for the president to give high instructions to those who embezzled during Can Gate, COVID Gate, that they should return the money so that I should believe in the high instructions.
Okay, Jerome, in 43 years, we've had 4 members of government resign. This is the 4th. Why is this so much kind of giving Cameroonians a kind of sleepless nights when others have resigned in the past? What impact is this going to create at this time?
To me, it's an eye-opener to those who have been believing the CPDM to deliver the goals that Cameroonians have all been expecting. When we draw back to Gaga Aman Haji, when he resigned from this government and from his political party, he gathered momentum and many people believe in his ideology. So Titu, Ejwa and Kamtu, our main problem, sir, is 1, if you resign and then you are able, I was thinking that if Issa Tchiroma Bakari resigned from the CPDM political party or from the government, he was to move towards 1, Kamtu, 2, Cabral Libi, 3, Akeremuna, and other big political figures to form a coalition to unseat the incumbent Bia, who has been so powerful negatively to the people of Cameroon. Because
when you say negatively, what do you mean negatively?
Negative. Cameroonians have been suffering. Cameroonians have not been able to have drinkable water against the wishes of Cameroonians. They've not been able to have good education. They've not been able to have job, no hospitals, no roads, just to name this. You see, the rate of immigration, people are moving out because it is not going in the country. So what was I expecting? The resignation of Issa Tchiroma Bakari, to me, could serve as an eye-opener that we have been in this thing for so long.
We still have time. Maybe
it has not.
No, it's October. Yes, it's October, but they still have time. When the candidatures will be approved, they still have time to form a coalition or
to form a coalition. No, but he has already declared his intention.
He can declare, and then when the time comes, he say, "I'm giving up," and then I'm standing behind this particular person.
But we know who he is, and we can analyze and draw some conclusion on where he is going to. And it will make me to buy the point of Mr. Ndiwum, who said maybe that is equally another strategy from the CPDM to distract the people of the North where they have a majority of the vote. So if this Tchiroma really love Cameroonians, he should join the likes of Kerel, Kamtu, and the others to form a coalition or an alliance in order to unseat the CPDM government that has kept us where we have been.
Keja, briefly, maybe before these people keep insinuating that it may be a strategy from your party to continue dribbling Cameroonians.
Yes, it's because they don't understand the type of alliance that existed. Some of them don't know if it was an alliance between Mr. Issa Tchiroma and Paul Biya, or it was an alliance among the FNNC and the CPDM. So everybody mix up everything and they have to come up with their own analysis. That party is an independent party. That's why they have their councillors.
Yes.
That's why they have their parliamentarians and the rest. They have their own document, their own text on how to become president. It's an independent party. The alliance was just based on supporting the president during a presidential election.
That's clear.
So we should understand this.
Yes.
Issa Tchiroma can resign. It's his decision, but the stand of his party, we are still waiting to get the decision, what they will say. We should not mix the two. Then I want to also say this. We are all analysts here, but some of us are very, very extreme, which we should learn how to quote word. When we say in Cameroon, there is no drinking water, but we have drinking water in front of us here. It's very extreme. When we say, permit me to
how many Cameroonians can afford this?
Okay, so
Mr. Keja, how many Cameroonians can afford this? Please,
I think
somebody from Dikenika, somebody from Forawa.
Now you are saying something. You are saying that some don't have, but you earlier said there is none, but there is one in front of you. Now, that's why I say we should learn how to use words.
There is no.
We should learn how to use words. We should say we have
Keja, please.
Mr. Keja.
Jerome, please. Jerome, let me come.
Please, do you want me to?
I think he means to say the drinking water in Cameroon is not enough. Can you continue?
That is what he should say.
Yes.
Right in the political and economic capital, you go into the suburbs.
We know there are difficulties.
They are drinking impure water.
We know there are difficulties, but don't say there is none. The way you are talking, you are very, very intelligent and you are educated, but you say there is no education.
No,
Where did you learn? Did you learn
no.
Keja, please.
Anyway, let me go back to business.
Keja, please.
I was just talking the truth.
Please, before you go.
Because of the education the government has given you.
Keja, please, before you move on with that, I think when we talk of drinking water for Cameroonians, we should be looking at water that comes from the taps that we have that is provided by the government. You will not expect.
Will you, as a journalist, say there is none?
Listen, let me finish.
There is none?
I have not said there is none.
Thank you very much.
I have not said that. I have not said that. So we are looking at a situation where Cameroonians will be able to drink from the taps good quality.
I just want
water.
that statement that there is none to be corrected and it has been corrected.
Just try to learn.
Can I go further?
Yes, try to learn.
I also got people analyzing Issa Tchiroma as representing the northern region. Please, he's not representing the north. No. We don't even have any elected official in the extreme north. We know. So how do you know when people have elected official? You know now. So I need to be his communicant to know that FNC does not have an elected official in the north.
He has about 3 MPs, right?
That's what I'm explaining to you. That
please.
When we talk about the northern region, we are talking about 3 regions.
Okay.
Adamawa, the north and the extreme north.
Yes.
So we should be fixed. He is from the north and his elected officials are from the north and not the extreme north where the CPDM is the leading political party.
Yes.
So we should be able to distinguish this. And when you even go to the north where he comes from, the CPDM is leading there with elected official with the UNDP and he's coming third. That is the analysis I'm doing. That's how you see the weight of a politician.
All right.
So I want us to understand that he is taking his decision. His followers are mostly in the north where he has elected officials. So we should not present that the extreme north is falling off with the CPDM party or everything. And to finish, please, Minister Issa Tchiroma, when he was minister, never ever complained that he did not have his budget as Minister of Employment. And he controlled his budget alone. There was no influence in his budget. So if there is no employment, he should be responsible, and the government should not be accused. The way my co-panelist here is struggling to say, if you have a budget and you don't do the job, you are responsible. And if he's resigning today, that there is no employment of youth where he had a budget to implement that, then he is a failure and he should accept it and carry his back humbly.
All right, Keja, we'll come back to continue from where you ended. Let's revisit this report of the 4 government members of government that have resigned from the Biya's government within these 33 years of the Biya's regime.
The divorce between Issa Tchiroma Bakari and the ruling party is now final. The FSNC president is now running as an opponent of the party in power and has announced his intention to run in the 2025 presidential election. Issa Tchiroma has increased the very short list of government members who have resigned under the renewal. In 43 years, only 4 ministers have voluntarily left their positions. Gaga Hamanaji resigns in 1992 as Minister of Public Service. Titus Iswa resigns in 1997 as the Minister of Public Health. Maurice Kamto resigns in 2011 as Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Justice. And Issa Tchiroma, the most recent resignation, with plans to run for the 2025 presidential elections.
Gama has worked in the North tirelessly. He has been Secretary of State, he has been Minister, he has been this and that. He has a very huge experience in politics. You have people like Tito Edua, who was, in fact, is a medical expert. He has a very rich profile, a very rich background. He's a professor. And then, as a professor, you cannot undermine his inability to operate in the political arena. You see somebody like Maurice Kamto, a whole professor of law. In some aspects of Cameroonians call him the Pope of Law. And you see that this very powerful politician, when being sidelined or being, we bring in a kind of rolling political system, we push them now to do what? To resign, because not everybody is happy about corruption. Not everybody is happy about bad governance.
According to analysts, the culture of resignation is not deeply rooted in Cameroonian politics. Notably, all 4 resignations occurred in electoral years, with some happening before or after the polls.
In any normal political arena, when things are moving, it is difficult for people to resign. When people are resigning, it means that they don't feel comfortable with the system. And now we can find people like Issa Tchiroma beefing up against Biajole Maurice Kamto, who was former Minister of Bia, beefing up to fight or to campaign against Bia to postulate for the post of presidency. So these are all testament to the fact that Bia's government is not the best.
They in one way or the other, the 3 in one way or the other have influenced public life, political life of Cameroon. And who knows what the impact of the resignation of Minister Issa Tchiroma will create.
Since President Paul Biya took office in 1982, the government has undergone 11 revisions or renewals, and 43 years, only these 4 members have voluntarily left the government.
Thank you, Morinzi, once again for that report, reminding us of the 4 different members of government that have resigned under Bia's leadership. Gentlemen, you permit me, before I come back to you here, let's take this message. We have tons of them. Good afternoon, everyone in the studio. I really doubt Issa Tchiroma's resignation, but I think he didn't want to fall with the current government. The days ahead, he will surely join a coalition. That is coming from Moda Siru in Yaoundé. Briefly, our resignation of Issa Tchiroma, maybe and possibly with some allies that may happen in the days ahead, an advantage or a disadvantage for the opposition?
It depends from where you stand. An advantage if he joins the coalition. Disadvantage if he doesn't. So we're looking forward to seeing his true intentions revealed in the days ahead. But it would appear that the likelihood of him joining the coalition is very slim. We don't see that happening because from time past you have seen him to be a very self-centered person. He's very selfish. I'm sorry to say this, but he's a very selfish person. So we do not expect, and he loves power. He loves to be in the spotlight. So even if he joins the coalition, he may want to be the candidate of the coalition. And we don't see that happening when Kamto is vying for the same position, when Akere Muna is vying for the same position, and have a troublemaker who comes in to want to be in the spotlight. Well, of course.
Why call him a troublemaker?
Well, I'm saying this to say that when someone who comes, we're yet to see that happen anyways, but whoever does that is a troublemaker. That if you join a coalition and wants to be the one in the spotlight, understanding his personality to be the kind of person who always wants to be in the spotlight, chances are very high that he joins a coalition and wants to be the president, the leading candidate. And that is a problem. That is where he creates trouble. If this happens, okay, he becomes a troublemaker, right? So, but we're looking to, like I said, it depends from where you're standing. An advantage or disadvantage, well, if he joins the coalition with a true intention of coming together with other politicians to create meaningful change for Cameroonians, not for himself, is an advantage. But if that doesn't happen, nothing changes. I mean, it's the same song we've been singing for over time, and I think that maybe Cameroonians are also really getting tired. They want change, but they don't just want any kind of change. Cameroonians are very intelligent people. They have this quality of mind that knows exactly what they want, and so you cannot just want to take advantage perhaps of their desperation of change. That they are asking for a change doesn't mean you can give them anything. You can't give them a stone when they ask for fees.
Okay,
they will know.
Mr. Sanga, it's true you said it doesn't really have an impact, but let's look at it. Would there be an advantage or a disadvantage Issa Tchiroma coming out of government? Maybe some say he will join a coalition, some say he may not. Is it an advantage for you, the opposition, or a disadvantage?
Actually, as I said earlier, every separation is already failing. And so I want to think that it is an advantage for the opposition. And before I say something else, I actually want to thank my co-member from the CPDM who actually said that Issa Tchiroma was the person that's supposed to give employment to Cameroonians, to citizens, and he failed. He's not the only one. That's how they have been failing. The regime is failing. The system is failing. So I want to thank you for acknowledging that everything is failing.
I said Issa Tchiroma, don't lie. Respect your Issa Tchiroma.
I said Issa Tchiroma has failed.
Respect your don't lie.
I will give you the mic.
I don't lie. I don't listen to lie. I did not say you said what I said. I said please respect your grade, don't lie.
Keja, please, I will give you the mic to talk.
I am telling you that.
No,
I will not tolerate what?
We are rather wasting time. I will give you that.
I said.
You can
Keja, I will give you.
You don't need to be rowdy.
Please.
I will tolerate defamation.
Keja, please.
No, Keja, you can.
Keja, please. I will give you. Keja, listen. I will give you the mic to correct what he said, which is wrong.
You can be calm. I said, excuse me. I said, I want to thank because he has maybe acknowledged that the time that Tchiroma was supposed to give employment to Cameroonians, he didn't give it, and that is how he failed. And when you have been given an opportunity in a government to do something, and if you fail, the government is failing, the system is failing, the person who is ahead, who is the champion, is also failing. Please, you have given me just 2 seconds. I don't know why. When you come to me and I want to maybe express my mind, you cut me, and it's like you already have an agenda before calling people here. Please allow me to learn now.
Please, you don't say that.
Okay, thank you.
You still have the mic. I have not taken the mic from you.
Because...
I have not taken the mic from you.
You just asked me a question. I have not even gone to the question. I just wanted to maybe put a point there, and you don't want me to
move on. It is Keja that was issuing the question.
Forget about Keja. Maybe Keja has his own agenda. I have mine, and maybe he wants to disturb the whole system.
Move on, please.
But I don't think that we are all mature. We have come here for something.
Of course.
As I said, you asked me if I said that his resignation for me is an advantage for the opposition. Because when you are in alignment, when you are in alliance with somebody, you are strong maybe to pull, especially in the north, where CPDM always claim that if you want to be the president, you win. And you win the north, you have already taken the whole country. So man, if it is divided, if the north now is divided, Issa Tchiroma, Bello Buba, Kamto, you see now that the CPDM will have no chance to rig the election there, because all of them, they have been rigging, and all of them know the rigging machineries or what has been happening there to say this one is maybe has taken more vote, because they were all in alliance. Now that the alliance is failed, that's why I'm telling you that the government and all of them are failing, and the opposition is gaining ground over the north.
Have you landed now? Okay, don't accuse me again. Okay.
No, I'm not accusing you because
Mr. Njum, please, we have barely 1 minute each. Monona Fosso, Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, was yesterday designated as an interim at the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training. What is your reading of that?
Well, before that, you remember I said many people were going to join the resignation list. Still unconfirmed. Bella Buba Magari, and then his own raptor has come to end with Mr. Bia as we are sitting here. I say still unconfirmed, but coming to your question.
I think maybe if I should just correct you, Bello Buba has said his party is going to run for the next upcoming elections. He has not said if it is presidential or which of the elections.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, back to your question. That's part of the incompetencies of President Bia, and it's a challenge. It's a blow on the faces of the youth who have gone to school, like some or who have studied and they are dreaming to hold positions in this country. It means Tchiroma left. There was nobody to replace him apart from a sitting minister in another ministry, which is already a clear failure. You don't need to consult. You don't need rocket science to know that that's a failure. That's one. Two, I am telling you that also exposed the weaknesses of the government, that they went creating many ministries. You know, Cameroon has the highest ministries in the whole world. And those ministries are very unproductive. Those ministries were created to compensate political songbirds in the ranks of the CPDM. And we are seeing it today. It means that Tchiroma was eating money for nothing. If one minister can manage two ministries, it means that even if they put them three.
No, they are not Cameroonians.
Okay. Yes, no, let me land.
Yes,
it's spending. It is spending because we cannot have jobless youth. They go and take people who have been in the system for a very long time. They keep recycling the same people, whereas there are people out there who can work. It means that those ministries, they should slice them down even to 5 ministries. In the Ministry of Education, I've been crying. Why are we having 4 ministries that have to do with education, whereas we have 4 ministers who are paid for work not done?
Okay, Jerome, the designation of Monona Fosso as the interim minister, your take?
It is really uncalled for. It shows that the system, I don't know how to describe it. There is incompetence. How can you take 2 ministries, merge it, give it for one person to lead it? It means something unclear has been ongoing to the knowledge of the people of the regime, because we have so many talented Cameroonians out there who could posit youth and civic education hails from the same region. And it has been, you know, the modus operandi of the CPDM. When they remove you from Ireland, they bring in your brother to fight.
Are you saying that it's kind of a divide and rule?
Yes. It's a kind of divide and rule that has lasted for a long period of time, and it should be discouraged.
Thank you. Kezia, I see you itching to.
Thank you, please.
Please, you have less than 1 minute.
Ministry works in pairs. Now, there can be a case in which a minister is sick and is going out for 2 weeks. Another minister can ask to oversee. He has not been appointed. It's not a presidential decree. It was not signed by the prime minister or the president. He's not an interim minister. He's not a minister there. They just ask him to oversee. Ministers at times, they ask permission to go out for 2 weeks for health, to go out for even to give birth as a woman, child leave, working leave, you understand? They do give them permission. And when they give permission, if that ministry is having a minister delegate, he continues to oversee. If that ministry is having a secretary of state, he continues to oversee. But a case in which that ministry does not have, the pair ministry continue to look over it. Like for instance, if the Ministry of Secondary Education really has a problem that he's out, you realize that if he has a secretary, if he has a minister delegate, he oversees that. If he has a secretary general,
so in a nutshell, are you saluting the merging of?
It has not been a merge. No, I'm not talking about.
I am talking about function-wise at the moment.
He is overseeing the administration here. He has not been appointed. I've not seen any decree that says that. Then again,
let's call it a caretaker. We are talking about a sitting minister who will be taking care of another minister.
When they say you oversee, it is a period of time that will not last for a month. Okay. It is different. They have not been appointed.
Can we use the word
overseen?
Can we use the word caretaker like I'm saying?
No,
he's taking care of the ministry at the moment in the absence of the full-time minister.
Let me continue. Yes. Let me continue.
Please,
again,
try to learn. We don't have time.
Let me learn. And again, please, I said here that Issa Tchiroma failed. I never ever used the statement that the ministers have failed.
Okay.
And my co-panelists here use it directly. That thank Keja for saying that ministers have failed. And I could not take that lightly. That is defamation.
Please.
That is why
you guys are wasting time.
Go ahead, please. Because I don't take defamation. I'm very sensitive to it. Thank you very much.
Go on.
Thank you.
Have you now seen that you have corrected in a gentlemanly way?
No, I don't accept defamation. I don't even give 1 second for defamation.
Okay, please. I will come to Mr. Sanga. Yeah. We are moving out. Your last word in less than 30 seconds, please.
Concerning?
No,
because it's like you are giving maybe a closing remark on all what we are saying. Thank you very much, because I think that when a minister is out and they take another minister and put in his place, that is why I am saying that I don't know if the regime actually see what is going on. There are Cameroonians out there that have studied and have knowledge to do what others have not been doing. And somebody goes out that has been failing, and you take another person from the same system that is failing and put there. What do you think? I think that they have not done anything, and the system is in a way that they don't even do follow-up. They don't know what will happen next week. It's like you are building a house, you know that you have 2, 3 children, you have 4, 5 rooms, but you build a house with 2 rooms and you're having 10 children, meaning that you don't even know what you are doing. And in a nutshell, all what we are saying here, I think that we are facing 2025, which is an election year. I want to seize this opportunity to call on all Cameroonians to go and register for the electoral list so that 2025 October, we are going, all of us, to choose somebody that will lead us from this mess. No roads, no water, no communication, nothing, food, nothing, farm to market road, nothing. So let Cameroonians go and register for 2025. Thank you.
Yes, I think...
less than 10 seconds, please.
Of course. Ministerial appointment in Cameroon, political compensation for loyalty. Unfortunately, it's like that. We should move into an era where meritocracy has a place, and that under the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training, there's a young director who should have been appointed to lead that ministry, but we didn't see that happen. So we want to see a Cameroon where young people have a chance to lead.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. I believe our televiewers have been able to grab 1 or 2 things as we draw the curtains of the program here. If you did miss out on anything, rebroadcast on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Until we meet again. See you next Saturday. And if you are still driving your feet to go get your voters cards, you have to do that now. Bye-bye.